Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We do have live tournament action coming at you right now. It is going to be on MLG Shakuris Plateau. This is our second round of the tournament, actually. These guys did get a bye straight to the second round, which is the round of 32 to this evening. We're still fairly early in the tournament. It's our first game that we're casting tonight, and it's going to be Vinny taking on Felvo. A ZvZ here on Shakuris Plateau is going to be all sorts of wonderful fun. Press 1 if you love Vinny, press 2 if you love Felvo, press 3 if you love both of them, and press 4 if you want them to apologize for playing the race of Zerg. Wait a second, isn't it supposed to be for Terran? I can't remember. But it is going to be Vinny spawning as our green Zerg up here in the top left-hand corner, and Felvo, our blue Zerg, in the top right. So, Goku, there you go. Thank you, Goku, for participating. Yep, we did miss C Calms. Brutal stuff, man. That is absolutely no fun. Looks like we're going to be... this is the one thing I hate about ZvZ, is the first couple minutes of the game tend to be extremely painful to watch. Okay, so we have got a scout here, and off he goes towards his opponent's base, luckily, so it is not going to take him 4 years to get there. For some scouting intel, however, it will take him 2. But looks like these guys are going to butt heads on their way. Nice play. Nice play by Felvo. Nice play by Vinny. Great control here on these units, by the way. Good stuff. And wow, look at that timing there. Just about spot on. Good stuff. Nothing yet from either player here at almost 2 minutes into the game. We should see a spawning pool go down for one or both of these players. Ooh, Vinny going for extractor first here. That is going to mean Lings. Look at this. Felvo doing the same thing. Timing's almost identical here. Felvo slightly ahead on his gas. So we're going to be getting those fast Lings out here fairly quickly. And it could also mean Baneling play from both players, which is one of my favorites to watch in a ZvZ. So we'll see how that's going to go. Look at that. These guys headed out to the center of the map. Wow, these guys looks like they've got the same idea. It's so fun. I love it when they do that. Look at this, the positioning and everything. It's like a perfect mirror here in the center of the map. I can't believe that. That's almost comical. Almost comical. But let's see. Nobody with an economic advantage quite yet. But we're going to start deviating here slightly. I assume that always at this point you start to see small deviations. You can start to see the timing slightly different here. And it just comes down to their style of play and their ability to also execute sometimes. But both of these guys, such high-ranked players that it's probably not poor execution. It just comes down to slightly different build orders. But good map control for both of these guys. They're both going to be setting themselves up to know what is headed their way. Let's just check and see what we've got in production. 6 Lings for Vinny, 4 Lings for Felvo. Felvo going to be playing potentially a little bit more defensively moving forward here. That is going to give him potential extra drone. So not a bad deal, but there go his 4 Lings. The 6 Lings for Vinny. Just camping here in his base, so actually both these guys playing relatively defensively. Interesting stuff. Looks like Felvo going to take this opportunity to go ahead and toss down his Baneling nest, and guess what? Vinny slightly behind, but doing the exact same thing. My goodness, talk about a mirror build here. Almost identical timings. And very, very good stuff. But here come the Lings from Felvo. Felvo going to be running up to a wall of Lings. They're going to have to back out there immediately. Oops. Good stuff, but look at that. So he's backing out here. We'll see who is going to get the damage done first. Who is going to be the aggressor here? It looks like Felvo trying to make it happen with 4 Lings, but doesn't quite make it happen. So going to be taking a forward position here. Wants to see when his opponent headed his way. And not a bad deal there, but that's a lot of Lings now out on the field. Looks as though Vinny going to grab a couple of Banelings here. Now this is being spotted here by Felvo. I assume he can see that. Actually, not now. Looks like they're just slightly out of range now of his sight. But Felvo's still working on getting out the right combination here. Looks like he has got 14 Zerglings, a couple Banelings of his own on the way. Where are his Banelings? Back here, defensive position. Notice both players securing and expand right about the same time. Felvo slightly ahead there, but not by much. Felvo also does have a 1 drone advantage now. That just barely changed to 1 drone. It was 2 a moment ago. And Vinny now tying it up there, so not a bad deal. And looks like he may pick up 1 more there. Not a bad deal. But a lot of banelings here. It is going to be fireworks here eventually. It looks like Felvo going to try and get some intel on what's going on up here. Ooh, doesn't quite make it up to the top, but he does see the timing on the hatchery there. Does see quite a few banelings as well. Trying to get one to potentially blow up. Not a bad idea. Whoa! We missed that? Really? What is going on here? Why are these guys blowing up? Oh, he's sending in 1 ling at a time. Nice play by Felvo. Felvo really giving Vinny some trouble here with these lings coming in 1 at a time. Nice play. Look at his defenses here as well. Looks like these guys going to get killed here. Does get cleaned out. Units lost going to show that Vinny slightly behind, but not by very much. We still haven't really seen a major engagement quite yet from these guys. But it is gearing up to happen here fairly soon. Looks like Vinny going to be tossing down some static defense. Don't have any static D for Felvo, however, so we'll see if that's going to work against or for him. It just depends on if he's going to stay aggressive, stay in a forward position, or have extremely effective micro with his lings and banelings. So we'll see how that's going to go. But great map control from both of these players. They've got Overlord Party in the center of the map, as you can see. These guys just kicking it. Woo, woohoo! That's all right. Use of Sold Suckers. I still think that Overlords ought to do 1 damage at melee range to air only, but that is just my opinion. Spine Crawlers going down here, so that's going to be 2 Spine Crawlers here momentarily for Vinny. Still no Spines for Felvo, but he does have Roaches now out on the field, and that's going to be a nice tech switch moving forward here, I think. Let's just check that unit step, see where we're at. 19 Zerglings for Vinny. Notice that Vinny is picking up a slight drone advantage here. 22 Lings for Felvo. He's got 4 banelings to 5, but he also has those roaches in there. So a superior army, I would say, for Felvo at this point. But the economy is swinging to Vinny's favor as we move forward. So we'll see if that's going to play a problem for Vinny. If we do see an attack from Felvo here fairly soon, it could be problematic for Vinny. He could take a lot of damage, and it looks like that's a lot of roaches cruising out across the map there. 5 plus 6, that makes 11. There's 12. Looks to be in pretty decent shape. Going to go ahead and toss down a Spine Crawler, sending out his lings in a forward position. Obviously being scouted here by Vinny, but what do you do? I mean, now it's time for him to get a lot of units together. Notice that he does have a lot of lings in production, trying to gear up, get ready for that defense. He's absolutely going to be tossing down another Spine Crawler as well, getting his banelings all positioned, and here come your roaches. Roach is going to be hitting that ramp here momentarily. And up they go. The Ling's going to be staying back here for just a moment. He's trying to get those banelings out so that they can take the damage on the roaches there. Banelings blowing up right on top of the roaches, but not quite enough damage. But it looks as though Vinny's still going to be able to clean that up in fairly decent time. Does clean that out pretty good and may be going for a counterattack. It looks like he is going to be rushing out across the map. He does have a lot of Lings here. We'll see if Felvo going to be able to defend here. He's got a lot of roaches popping out. He does have that 1 Spine Crawler. Going to be fairly effective. Look at that. Vinny going to be sending in 1 at a time. Going to try and bust up the banelings. Looks like he is going to back out here, though. Units tab going to show that he is extremely ahead now in that drone count. 41 to 36 is not a bad deal for Vinny. So he seems to be in pretty good economic position. Transitioning into Burrow for, let's see, what else does he have? He does have his Roach Warren out. Still no roaches. He is still droning up hardcore and tossing down his Spire. So I'm assuming he's going to be going for some mutas. He's taking that second gas there. Looks like Felvo just poking up here for a little bit of intel. He is going to see some roaches in his opponent's army, but doesn't know about that Spire quite yet. So that Spire could be a nice tech switch here. We'll see how that's going to play out. Felvo with no Spire is going to be working on his missile attacks here, though. So he could toss down a potential Hydra Den, and that be a good counter to the mutas. We'll see if that's going to be the case, but it will come down to when Vinny, and with how many Vinny attacks with on that muta harass. We'll see how that's going to go. But notice that Felvo going to be grabbing another hatchery, taking his 3rd in fairly decent time. no macro hatch here for Vinny, but he is tossing down double Evo chambers. So pretty nice looking army composition here, I'd say, for Vinny. He's got a lot of lings there, but way more roaches right now for Felvo, and they're about to have some upgrades coming at them. Not going to be bad. Look at that, pneumatized carapace. What is he saying to me? I can't figure it out. Cool. All right, good stuff. And sorry about that. For some reason, I can't admin and cast at the same time. And it's like my super weakness. But here comes your harassment from the mutas. Looks like 5 of them going to be cruising in here. Basically undefended here at this position. Oh, he's got Hydras now out on the field. These Hydras do need to get in position. A little bit slow on the reaction time there from Felvo. Looks like he is going to be evacuating these guys, though, fairly quickly. Here come your Hydras. These guys going to be very good at holding these mutas at bay. So not a bad deal there. Looks like he is going to have to be very, very defensive moving forward here. But good tech switch there. Those Hydras going to be super effective moving forward. And pretty solid stuff. So he is backing out. He does toss down a macro hatch and securing his 3rd base as well. So Vinny in fairly decent shape. Units tab going to show that Felvo still slightly behind, but not by very much in that economy. He did get supply blocked here. Those mutas going to be sniping a couple OVs here and there. Looks like these overlords are going to evacuate the center of the map there fairly quickly. We do have one overseer here that's just kind of kicking it. He's like, I'm trying to blend in, man. Do not give me away, my OV friends. He's like, I'm blue, you're green. No big deal. Don't call your friends. But here come those mutas. They are definitely doing some decent harassment here. And going to cruise in here. Looks like they will scout this 3rd base here momentarily. Oh, maybe not. Looks like he's going to back out. But a big push here potentially from Felvo. He's got a lot of Hydras now in the center of the map. This is going to be a pretty substantial push. Notice he does have that +1 ranged attack. And that could fare very, very well for him. It looks like Vinny may have just a little trouble with this unit composition, but he does have a good deal of roaches, so as long as he can keep a couple of those roaches alive, he should be okay. Here comes your main attack. Nice look at defense. Some banelings going off here and there. But a concave here for Vinny could work in his favor, but so many Hydras in the back are going to be blasting away the machine guns of the Zerg army. Going to be backing this guy up. Good stuff. Look at this attack here. Felvo going to be pushing in. And these, wow, those spine crawlers actually doing a lot of damage, but still a good deal of Hydras on the field. Are the Hydras going to be able to clean it up? It does not appear so. We got +1/+1 on Vinny's army, and that is absolutely killing these units for Felvo. Vinny coming out on top there. Let's just check that units lost tab. Actually, Vinny still lost more, but did come out with, I think, a little bit better army, and his supply count was better momentarily, but Felvo beefing it up very quickly on his own supply count there, so remaxing his army as quickly as possible, and pretty good stuff there. Good stuff. So Felvo did take some losses here. Let's just check in on that units tab. Notice that he does have 51 drones to 56, so got to be careful moving forward. Link coming in here just scouting around. Looks like good scouting there from Felvo. Does see this base. May go for an attack on it. He is cruising out across the field with a whole bunch of units here. Now, Vinny does have, I think, a superior army at this point. +1/+1 on these guys. Going to be pretty scary. He's grabbing +2 attack as well. And should be in fairly decent shape, but here comes that attack nonetheless. Felvo going to probably be able to deny this base for sure, and then rely on his ability to remax an army for defense should a counterattack be in the works shortly thereafter. But here he goes. He's going to be kicking it here at the high ground. Going to try and use that high ground advantage there. Wow, nice play there from Felvo, backing out a superior army just because of that high ground advantage there. Good stuff. Infestor going to die. Did get down a fungal, however, so not a bad little play there. Felvo picking up his production, though. He's evened it out there for just a moment. Vinny still is taking the lead, however. Going to be getting a slightly larger army. A lot of roaches on the field for Vinny right now. But look at this. All these units here just kind of kicking it and just letting a couple of them do the work back here at the hatchery. So Vinny going to be unavailable, looks like, to take this on because he doesn't want to engage from the low ground there. So nice play here from Felvo, really utilizing those units. Positioning there is nice to see. But still, I'm a little bit worried about this unit composition here. Vinny should be in phenomenal shape. He does have +2/+1 complete and more hydras, or not hydras, but infestors and roaches on the way. So seems to be in fairly decent shape. Now, +1/+1 is complete here for Felvo, and he's working on his +2, but it is slightly behind. We should see some more upgrades for Vinny. I think is probably going to need, he's really going to need to keep that advantage moving forward, especially if he's going to take just roaches from here. Or Roach Infester, I guess is his play. Not a bad looking play here. He's going to be maxing out his army here fairly quickly, but look at this. Felvo picking that up so quickly right now and is maxing out a Roach army. Wow, that's a lot of roaches, guys. And he is going to be working on some infestation pit action as well, so could see some Roach Infester from him as well with some Hydras mixed in. Is actually not a bad deal there. Should be fairly effective. Now, Vinny did re-secure a third base. He chose to take this pocket expansion. And it was actually a fairly smart move. Let's just check in on that units tab. Notice that he does have a slight drone disadvantage right now, and Felvo going to be cruising forward here. Looks like he is going to sandwich this army. But look at this, Vinny in fairly decent position. But here comes the flank attack from these units, and guess what? The Infestor is going to be going down just fairly quickly. He did get down one fungal on these units, stalling that sandwich for just a moment, meaning that these roaches taking a heck of a lot of damage, and this, wow, the sandwich attack not actually going super good for Felvo, but he does have superior numbers still, so he's really going to be able to do a decent amount of damage, but taking more than I think he needed to just because of those nice clutch fungals from Vinny, so not a bad play. Looks like he is going to back out here. Good, another fungal going down, trapping some of these units, and a couple of them burrowing here to try and find a safe position. But Felvo still ahead in the supply count there. We'll see if he's going to be able to remax his army quicker. He is securing a fourth base now. Not a bad deal. His main about to be mined out, and his natural not too far behind either. Look at that. He's actually getting fairly low there as well. But going to be working on a pretty decent-sized army. He's got a lot of infestors now mixed into his forces. These guys can be super effective as he moves forward. Look at that. +2/+1, super effective as well. Ventral Saxos, we may see a little bit of droppage. Wouldn't that be nice? I would love to see some drops. But 4 base now for Felvo, going to be really, really strong position. That is for sure, especially considering that Vinny does have his main mined out and his natural extremely low at this point. He is going to be securing another base. He absolutely has to at this point. I mean, you may think that this is a risky thing here. It actually is not. This is his best play. He cannot afford to be on less bases than his opponent moving forward here, because this base about to be mined out, he's got to have at least 2 mining bases. So got to be careful as he moves forward. He is going to be tiptoeing, playing, I think, very defensively. Felvo probably going to max out here and go for another attack. He's in a position where he can start to trade armies over and over because he's got a stronger economy and is controlling the game at this point. Because of that lead that he's picked up here. So good stuff there. Would like to see some more upgrades from him from that Evo chamber, but I mean, it is what it is. Got to get it done eventually, that is for sure. But that pocket expansion here for Vinny doing pretty good. He is going to have this 4th base up and running here momentarily. And 4 bases now for Felvo, but his main again mined out. So probably for Felvo, needs to take 1, push an attack, and he should be in pretty decent shape. An army trade here for him is exactly what he wants. But we'll see if he's going to do that. Looks like he is maxed out here, but he's going to give Vinny a chance, it appears, to go ahead and max his army as well. So it's going to be Infestor Roach here mainly. Wars between these two guys. We'll see how that's going to fare. And Vinny getting a little antsy, it looks like. He doesn't know exactly where he wants to position his army. I don't blame him. But he doesn't want to push out, I can tell you that right now. He's got that +2/+1 versus +2/+1, so fairly even deal here. There goes +3 for Felvo, so nice job there for Felvo. He's going to potentially pick up an advantage. Notice that Felvo now we're going to be floating a lot of minerals and stuff. A little bit of drop action potentially here. Looks like an Infestor drop. One of them does get taken out. Here comes your infested Terran. Sorry about that. Felvo going to be tossing down quite a few here. Going to be working on his opponent's army. Here comes your main engagement. Not a bad deal. Look at all these fungals going down. Roaches like crazy. That is for sure. Wow, Vinny actually cleaning that up fairly well here. Pretty decent job. He did lose a couple tech structures here. Didn't quite lose his lair, though, that's for sure, or the infestation pit. But, well, I don't know. Felvo traded armies there was what he wanted, but it turned out to not actually work in his favor. And looks like Vinny going to go for a counterattack, but look at this. Felvo remaxing his army extremely fast. He's got a lot of roaches now out on the field, and that's what he was looking for. Trade armies, remax instantly, and here comes the attack. He's got to get these guys in action. There we go. There we go. A couple infested Terrans here. Going to be fairly helpful, but Felvo is going to have a substantial advantage moving forward. He's about to have +3 complete, too, so that's really going to start kicking in as soon as this battle is over, and then he can go for a counterattack. He's in a strong, strong position. Vinny already given the TT. Looks like he is not pleased with himself right now, hoping that he could do some damage with a counter there, but turns out that he just doesn't quite get it done. And looks like Felvo going to be remaxing here momentarily and should be able to push forward with that +3. Couple roaches now in production, but he's got to be working on some more inject larva. But here comes that attack. Roach is going to be pushing forward here, trying to draw those forces out. Burrow going down. Felvo going to have his maxed army headed his way just in a moment, and Vinny going to be in a little bit of trouble, I think. +3 now complete on these guys, and the +2 armor actually as well, so good stuff. Good fungal going down there on Felvo's army, but look at this. I mean, there's just not enough units here for Vinny to hold on. He's going to be backing out, going to try and defend this position, and look at this. Felvo going for the kill here. He's going to go for all those tech structures. I think a wise move. Good fungals going down, but man, it just may not be enough. There's still so many roaches alive. These guys going to be cruising up into the main, going to be splitting these forces, going to make them that much more difficult to deal with. And he's got so many units in so many different places. Vinny just going to be struggling. Look at the supply count, 195 to 72. Ouch. And Vinny going to, wow, we could expect a GG here at just about any moment. He's going to try and hold on here for just a moment. I mean, it is a best of one, and you can't just give it up too soon, so we've got to give him respect for that. That is for sure going to try and make it happen. Looks like he may try and rebuild down here at this position, but look at this. Felvo doing so much damage, getting these guys healed up with that burrow. Not a bad deal, and wow, all these units are going to be going down. The infestation pit is down. So Felvo feeling a lot happier as he moves forward. Looks like he is going to take out this mining base. Probably one of the biggest saving graces here for Vinny moving forward is absolutely about to be demolished. Brutal stuff. Wow. Felvo, extremely strong play from this guy, man. Extremely strong play. Macro Hatch going to die here momentarily. Looks like Vinny going to try and rebuild potentially down here, but I just don't know what he's going to be able to pull off. There's so many roaches on the field right now, and look at this. Felvo floating crazy amounts of minerals and gas right now. Got some infestors here trying to hold the fort, but my goodness, so much damage being dealt here by Felvo. That +3, +2, and there it is. GG from Vinny, given the good luck as well. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. Don't alt tab, always alt Starcraft. We'll see you guys here in our next match.